is Bob Crowell. I'm the mayor of the greatest city in Nevada. Today is November 16th, 2010, and we just finished a Board of Supervisors meeting, so I'd like to talk a little bit about today and why we did it on a day that's other than Thursday. First, I should let you know that this morning the mayors of Carson City, Reno, and Sparks were sponsors of the Nevada Prayer Breakfast, which is an interfaith organization that puts on a prayer breakfast in Reno. It was done at the Atlantis Hotel this morning at 7 a.m. and it is a revival of the prayer breakfast concept that has not been used for about the last 10 years, and it is an attempt to get business leaders, city leaders, state leaders, and faith and interfaith leaders together to express hope and good things for our state and to work together. So this morning's breakfast was in my view, well done, and it was a great way to start the day. Then we started the Board of Supervisors meeting at 10 o'clock this morning, and we did it today. This is Tuesday because the Nevada Association of Counties is having their annual meeting this coming Thursday, starting on Thursday, and Supervisor Williamson is the president of that organization. So we had to move it because there are several of us that will be attending Nevada Association of Counties. So we had that up on today. So we moved the meeting from the normal Thursday meeting to today, Tuesday, and started at 10 o'clock because of the prayer breakfast. And when we started the meeting, we had a presentation to Ginny Jed, who spoke about the need and necessity to have a greater public awareness of pancreatic cancer and the need to have additional research on that illness. As she said, it kills a lot of people, but yet it is somewhat underfunded, or in her view, is entirely underfunded in terms of the research that is put into pancreatic cancer. So as a cancer survivor myself, it was good to put forth a proclamation designated the month of November as Pancreatic Cancer Awareness Month. Right after that, we heard a presentation from Senator John Lee, who's a senator from Las Vegas, who chaired the local government committee during the interim for the Nevada legislature. Senator Lee came to talk to us about what things that he thought that the state legislature was going to be taking up this year, and how local government might be affected, and actually said he came here to say, you know what, we're all in this boat together. We're not here to take things from you. We're here to work. We're here to hear what you have to say. Please come on down to the legislature and talk to us. Please come on down and understand who we are, and your constituents are our constituents. And so that was a wonderful outreach by the Nevada legislature to come to local government and say, we want to work with you. And and I assured Senator Lee today, as did the board, we will be there to talk with them, and we appreciated the opportunity for him to come and speak with us. So, and I think that's the first time we've had in a public meeting had a legislator, particularly a legislator from Southern Nevada, come and speak to the Board of Supervisors in a public meeting. So that was well done by Senator Lee, and we look forward to seeing what happens in the legislative session. As a community here, we do. The other thing we did today was we voted unanimously to approve John McKenna to fill the unexpired term for Supervisor Livermore, who's now Assemblyman Livermore, and then Mr. McKenna will be sworn in officially for his board seat at the first Monday in January. We look forward to working with Mr. McKenna, now Supervisor McKenna, and I'm sure that he'll see the work, wants to work with us as well. It's because I told him this morning, it's kind of like in the frying pan into the fire, but that's what we get paid the big bucks to do here. They're really not that big, but there's some payment there. Also, we heard today from the city manager that we're going to be talking about that next Monday they're going to have a presentation of the City Center project that's going to be presented to the Citizens Advisory Committee next Monday night. We'll see what the Citizens Advisory Committee says about the City Center project, whether it is feasible or not feasible. feasible and what their particular recommendation on feasibility is to the Board of Supervisors. So as you see this Monday night, the Citizens Advisory Committee will also be talking to P3 about the City Center project to look at the financing and feasibility of that project. Also today, we completed on second reading two bond refunding issues. Hopefully the bonds are going to get issued tomorrow, where we'll refund some existing bonds and save about, last time I reported to you was about $600,000 in savings due to interest rate savings. I think that this because of the high demand for refunding right now, interest rates have started to move up, at least sort of on the out years, and so we don't anticipate getting quite as favorable of an interest rate, but we think that we're going to get, instead of 8% savings, we're going to get somewhere around 5%, which is probably close to $500,000 in terms of savings between the two bonds by virtue of the refunding. It's kind of a rule of thumb we have. If we think we're going to be able to get more than 3% savings, we're going to look at refunding the debt that we have outstanding in order to save the city money and save the taxpayer money. So it's about $500,000, I believe, that we're going to be saving if the bond rates come in as we think they may tomorrow. Also, when we're talking about tax issues, there are a couple things that came up on taxes this morning. First, we approved deleting the automatic increase in the business license fee that comes up every year. And there was a discussion this morning about whether or not we should just, instead of deleting the entire section of the business code that called for an automatic increase, unless we said otherwise, to make that just to make the code permissive in nature. What we were told from the finance director was there's already a state law that says that no matter what, you couldn't, even if you wanted to, raise it more than what the state law said. And so based on that, it was our collective judgment that we should just eliminate the provision from our code section and live with what's in state law anyway. So that's what was done. We did, in fact, delete that section, and that on second reading, so that the automatic increase of the business license fee is no longer in our code section. And on room tax issues, on further taxes, we had a discussion this morning from the lodging properties, some of them who said that they wanted to have the Board of Supervisors engage or implement a business impact study to see what the impact would be for a 3% increase, 3 percentage points increase on the room tax from 10% on the room from a 10% room tax to a 13% tax on lodging rates. And we had a discussion about why that procedure was not brought to the Carson City Visitors and Convention Bureau, whether it should, what the impact would be of raising the rate at this time. And I think at the end of the day, what people said was, we need to talk further about it, but we also need to know about, whether or not, well, let me back up and just say, this vote today, when we voted to say we wanted to have a business impact study done, was on whether or not we should raise it by 3%. What was missing on that side is, well, how are you going to spend the 3% if you do this? Because the lodging properties did not really have a way to, or at least they had not come to a conclusion yet on how to spend that money, if indeed it was raised. And so I think the bottom line here is that the board decided to go to do what the lodging properties want to do. Let's do a business impact statement on what the impact on businesses would be if we raised the rate from 10% on lodging to on room lodging to 13%, and then let them talk through it with the Carson City Convention and Visitors Bureau and the lodging properties on how they wanted to, how best to expend those funds. That's a tax that's on lodging properties only, and it's not a citywide tax. It's only on lodging properties. And so out there, I've routinely told the lodging properties that from my perspective as the mayor, I'm not interested in raising a tax on anybody, particularly a specific industry, without that industry's consent. And so We will see where that goes after we get a business impact study back, and the lodging properties have a little bit longer time to talk through it with the Carson City Convention and Visitors Bureau. But I guess at the end of the day, which was quite good, was that all the parties came and said, you know what we need to do what we have to in order to spend money. If we're going to have to spend money, we want to make sure that it's done in the right way, that we think out of the box, that we're creative, but we really want to make sure that any expenditure of dollar goes to putting what they would call heads in beds. It's a good idea to do that and to take that approach. And so I don't think anybody is enamored with trying to raise a room tax at this time in this economy. But on the other hand, if there's a way where we could spend money, at least from what they say, if we can spend money to make money, it's probably worthwhile taking a look at. And so that's what the board decided to do today. Those are the highlights of what we did on the Board of Supervisors on this Tuesday, November 16th. Hopefully these It's Your City views are worthwhile. If you have additional information that you want me to talk about that's not on the agenda, or just get my views or thoughts on, send me an email or leave me a voicemail at the city office. I'd be happy to talk through those issues next time I'm on air. And also I'd like to leave you with my standard phrase, and it's a phrase that you'll hear me say a lot. Carson City is just a wonderful place to live because we're not just an ordinary collection of neighborhoods. We are indeed a community. And if we proceed as a community, we act as a community, and we move down the road together, debate as we will, but move with common purpose, knowing that we have everybody's best interests in hand, we're going to do well in this community. So again, we have a wonderful place to live. Let's keep it that way. This is your mayor. See you again in 2 weeks. Thank you.